Hey, what is up guys, DRC3 here, back with another video, and today we are going to be talking about Overwatch 2. Now, maybe you were like me and you hopped into Overwatch 2 day 1 and you had to sit through a 4-hour queue, and once you got through that 4-hour queue, you started playing some hit scan characters or characters in general, and you put your crosshair on people and you're playing on mouse and keyboard, and your crosshair is perfectly on them, but your shots aren't connecting. Well, here's how you fix that, okay? It is an actual glitch. It's a problem. You go into controls, you look at controller settings right here, and you will see advanced. Go ahead and press the plus button, and where it says aim smoothing, turn that down to 0%. For whatever reason, Blizzard can't figure out their games. Your controller settings are bleeding over into your mouse and keyboard settings and messing up your aim, so that will make the game so much better for you. That improved my experience dramatically, immediately. And the other things we're going to be talking about with Overwatch 2 today are just all the problems, all the good things with it, and things to expect coming up for Overwatch 2. And while we're doing that, you'll see some of my Widowmaker gameplay in the background. So the very first thing I want to talk about is the problems with Overwatch 2. Okay, so the very first, simplest thing, is Overwatch 2 a standalone game? Is it a new game? The answer simply is no, not yet at least. When the story mode launches, that they've been advertising for a long time, then I would say it's worthy of being called a new game. Right now, it's a rebalanced, remastered, I would say almost, Overwatch 1 or remastered game. Why do they call it Overwatch 2 instead of like a remastered Overwatch 1? Because it's a money grab. That's what Blizzard does. I think nobody's really surprised by Blizzard nowadays, and you know, maybe I'm offending you, maybe you're a big supporter of Blizzard. I don't know if anyone really is like, oh, Blizzard's amazing nowadays. Like, they have a good game. I love Overwatch. I really do. It's a fun game. I wouldn't be playing it otherwise. But honestly, Blizzard as a company clearly hurting for cash, apparently. And so Overwatch 2, personally to me, and I know to a lot of other players, kind of seems like a cash grab. And if you don't believe me, let me lay out some things for you. So the Overwatch 1 cosmetics are currently sitting at a value of roughly, I did some research on this, I can't say it's 100% accurate, but pretty close, I would assume. Overwatch 1 cosmetics are sitting at around a value of $12,000 if you were to go back and get all the cosmetics from Overwatch 1. Now, there are no more loot boxes in the game, and that means if you were to buy all the cosmetics with your credits and stuff like that, it would cost you $12,000 in Overwatch 2. That is absolutely insane. So can't tell me that's not a cash grab for anyone who's a new player to Overwatch 2. All right, and then besides that, the Battle Pass, while the Battle Pass itself might be cheap, is it reasonably feasible to actually complete it within the amount of time they give you? That's yet to be seen. A lot of people are leaning towards no. And so what I think Blizzard is expecting is people to buy tiers, and to buy all the tiers for the Battle Pass is $175 US dollars. That is insane to me. Okay, and then on top of that, if you've looked at the first Battle Pass, it's voice lines and things like that that we used to get for free in Overwatch 1. It's not that great. Like, the only good things about the Battle Pass, in my opinion, are the skins. The skins are decent, and then the calling cards essentially are nice because that is an addition to the game, something that wasn't in Overwatch 1, or the titles, those are decent. But like any voice lines or sprays or things that we used to get for free, it's just like, it feels now like we have to pay for it. And I mean, that's fine. They switched the game to free to play, but it's just, that's why they call it Overwatch 2, guys. That's literally why, so they can charge you for things they used to give you for free. Anyways, moving on from that, my other problem with the Battle Pass is that if you have looked in your weapons cosmetics section, you can now equip weapon buddies or whatever, like Valorant. It's literally the exact same as Valorant, kind of ripped them off. But for some reason, they couldn't come up with an idea to, you know, let's throw in weapon skins. Like, we are still stuck with the same old golden guns. How hard is it to add weapon skins to your weapons? That is something that people have wanted for so long in Overwatch, and I don't know if they're going to do it in the upcoming future. They're going to do it with the release of story mode. They might be holding on to it. I don't know what the developers are thinking, but I mean, that's just something that we wanted for a long time. And if they're essentially going to remaster the game and not give us a full brand new game, they could have at least given us weapon skins. And people are going to say, well, it feels like a new game. Like, these are the people who are going to argue with you and say, it is a new game. There's a bunch of new stuff. There's new characters. There's new maps. There's new modes. Well, yes, but they also stopped updating Overwatch 1 for what, a year, 2 years, whatever, while they worked on these new modes. And before that, we were getting yearly, monthly, whatever updates on characters and stuff like that. And then they just stopped because they were doing preparations for Overwatch 2. And arguably all the characters and maps and stuff that have come out now could have been released over time, but they held on to it to market it as a new game. At least that's my opinion of it. But, you know, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And once again, don't get me wrong, I love Overwatch. I love the skill-based gameplay. It's a lot of fun to me, as you can see right here while I'm playing Widowmaker. I really do enjoy the game, and you'll see videos from me on Overwatch. But I just want to talk about all the problems, lay everything out on the table for you guys, let you know everything that's going on. Now, things that are good with Overwatch right now. Okay, so they have made Widowmaker good, who is my favorite character. I'll say that right now. She used to have 175 health with the latest Overwatch 1 patch. Now she's back up to 200, which helps her survive a little bit more, which is nice. I like all the passives on the roles. They have added, like, if you're a damage character, you're going to get extra speed and reload if you get a kill. If you're a healer, you automatically get passive regen. So for characters like Zenyatta, where he has a shield, his shield regenerates over time, but then now his health regenerates over time, making him regen even faster. And another thing I like is Zenyatta's kick. It actually knocks enemies away before he didn't really have any escapability. It's interesting because he can kind of spam that knockback, so you could probably spam environmental kills in a way. Zenyatta's, like, all of a sudden got a higher skill cap, which is interesting to say the least. But yeah, they have done a lot of good work with rebalancing characters, I would say. I do like the balancing they've done with a lot of characters. Some characters, are they overtuned? Yes, like I would say Winston, probably overtuned. Kiriko, definitely overtuned. Insane. She can two-shot, headshot basically any DPS or healer if your aim is good enough. She's actually really ridiculous. Climbs walls, gives you invulnerability, just insane. And you know, that makes sense though for right now because she just came out. They want their characters to be OP. They want their characters to look really, really good upon release to get people interested in playing the characters. So it makes sense why they've done what they did. But then at the same time, I got to talk about Junker Queen because, you know, Junker Queen is not the greatest character. A lot of pros will agree and stuff like that. That Junker Queen is like bottom of the list when it comes to tanks. She's just not very good. She's not all there for damage. And right above her would be Doomfist, and then all the other tanks are way better than Doomfist and Junker Queen. So those are the two tanks that just need a lot of work, in my opinion, and I know in a lot of other people's opinions. There's just all that going on. So yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff with all those characters besides the tanks, besides the DPS. And let's talk about the other healers besides Kiriko. So Brigitte is still like okay. All the other healers, Moira, all of them, still, they haven't done a lot of like changes on the healers, and I would have liked to see more changes on healers, but that's okay. So like I said, not a lot of changes on healers. You look at the DPS, not a lot of changes on the DPS. Of course, we got Sojourn, but other than that, a lot of things kind of just stayed the same. I shouldn't say stayed the same because there were some like minor changes for like Moira and her negative ball and stuff like that. Whatever the name of the ball is, I can't remember it off the top of my head. There were some changes like that, but nothing really too significant that really changed the kit and made it feel different. And so that's one of my bigger problems with Overwatch 2 is it's just the same characters rehashed out. They changed the portraits, they changed the UI, which is like, that doesn't really take much time at all. The art design, when you're working off of pre-designed art, doesn't take a lot of time. They had so many years and a budget to do this, and they've made improvements, I'll give them that. But have they made the amount of improvements that people expected? Not really. So what am I hoping for? I'm hoping that like 90%, 95% of that budget went into the story mode. And that the story mode is just going to be absolutely sick and amazing. But, you know, we'll see come 2023 when that comes out. And we'll have to see how it goes. Another issue for a lot of people, and this is something I almost forgot to go over, kind of glossed over it, actually didn't even mention it, is competitive mode. So we have gone from a 6v6 to a 5v5. And because we've gone from a 6v6 to a 5v5, obviously the meta has changed, the way people play the game has changed. People might not be as good in a 5v5 as they were in a 6v6. You're not playing two tanks anymore. It makes a big difference. So when people are placing in, the reported rumor is that most people are ranking in 2 ranks below whatever they were in Overwatch. Now, I understand ranking lower because things have changed, but that seems like it's systematic, like they planned to have that in the system somewhere to just automatically rank you lower 2 ranks. So say you were in platinum, well now all of a sudden you're going down to silver, and so on and so forth. And that's, I don't know if they want people to reclimb or if any of the elo carried over. It should have just been a full reset if it is a new game, quote unquote. Doesn't seem like it was a full reset. I could be wrong on that. Correct me in the comments if I am, but from what I hear from other players, yeah. Anyways, guys, that is the video. That is everything I want to talk about. If you guys enjoyed the video, please go down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and peace.